Hello and welcome back to the field in Devon. Today I am making seaweed compost. Very easy to do. I won't overcomplicate it, but you need 2 ingredients and not much time. The first ingredient is compost that is almost finished, and the second ingredient is seaweed. No more complicated than that. Now then, if I just look down here a minute, this is 2-year-old wood chip that's been hot composted with grass. Very two-dimensional, one-dimensional, I don't know what you call it. Not a huge rate of, not a huge amount of goodness in it, but of value. This will be greatly enhanced through quick composting with seaweed. And I say quick composting because with kelp it really does go quick. It doesn't like exposure to air and will rot away very fast. Now normally I would do this in dialects, but I've run out of empty dialects, so what I'm going to have to do here is just do it on the open ground under tarp. This is where the crops are going to grow anyway, so not a lot of problem, and it is as easy as so it's just a make a base, spread it out, and unglamorously put the seaweed on it. No need to wash it. There is salts on it, but it's never caused me a problem before. Ow! Did I just nearly do that? Oh dear. This old fool here. And there's actually not a huge amount of need to mix it in. Worms will come along very readily and do that for you. Now this is kelp seaweed. I've mentioned in previous videos that kelp rots down very fast, whereas bladder, I haven't got any blood. Yes, we have. Here's bladder. So bladder, which is the one with the air bubbles on. This one is at the sea shore, which is constantly getting exposed to air, whereas kelp is permanently underwater. So when kelp starts coming in contact with air all the time and still being kept moist, it will rot down very readily and release all its nutrients. I tend to refer to bladder as my slow release fertilizer because that will be around a lot longer. No need to chop it up whatsoever. I will revisit this later on, and it's just a matter of building this up. I've just been happily talking to the camera there. I forgot I was putting time lapse. What I was trying to say is it's already becoming a bit of a slimy mess because its natural ability is to rot down very fast. By mixing it in compost, you actually stop that. Just turn you around a second to here. I can't see too well because the damn sun's in my eyes, and this is the first time today I've had a chance to record because the wind, it has started heating up in here. But it'll produce lovely stuff. Absolutely wonderful stuff. You see how it's become a sticky compost now, and that's the influence of the seaweed. See it there? Smell-o-vision is great. Do I need to turn it? Well, I've never had a problem with it being needed to be turned before. It usually just doesn't last very long, and this has been done a relatively short while ago, and it's already lost a lot of its shape and recognisable mass. There we are. That's that pile made. Very simple. It will warm up a bit. That's not necessarily what I want, because it's just not part of the process I'm heading for. But if it does, it's not so bad, to be honest with you. Now, I promised you a couple different ways of using this stuff. Well, this is one way. This is the major way that I use compost. A second way is to use it as a mulch directly on top of the beds. That can really work well. I tend to allow a sprinkling of compost on top to try and stop it drying out. It's not terrible if it dries out, but it's better if it doesn't. The worms love you better for it. Now, another way that we can get the goodness from compost and seaweed, this material here is from the potatoes last year, and what I've done is I've layered in seaweed and this compost. It has produced a lovely mixture. It started off at the top and it sank down in a week. Not a problem, because seaweed won't add a great deal of mass to it. But what I did do, that's just going to be back hurting. That is. Let me get a fork. So what I did was I was expecting it to shrink down. I piled in a load in this bucket deliberately so that I can top this up. I'm a little bit concerned that it's just a little bit too dry. See how things change. How different ingredients enhance or otherwise. I'll leave that in there, and that can be used to top up when it falls down again. It's just bound to shrink down again. The last way of using seaweed is going to be a new one for me, and it's going to be with the roof stout method. This is working brilliantly to subdue weeds. The hay that's harvested in this field, there's no contaminants whatsoever. There's very minimal weed seed. There will be weed seed in it, grass seed mainly. And I want to expand this because it is subduing the weeds naturally. But this is the topic of the next video. Until then, goodbye. Thank you for joining me. I'm sorry this has been a little bit long. I did promise you shorter videos. It hasn't worked out like that again, has it? Oh well. Hopefully you found it interesting. And if you're in the middle of Birmingham, middle of Manchester, I suspect it hasn't been very interesting at all. But it's just how us peasants down the West Country will grow our crops. See you later, guys. Bye for now.